Is it 11? Good morning. I know I don't have to say find a seat. Look at all of you. You're beautiful. But we want to prepare our hearts and our minds for this morning's service. Welcome, all of you, to this Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia. My name is Rebecca Drennan, and I'm the service leader this morning. Our minister is Reverend Stephen Robinson. And today we're really privileged and happy to welcome our outside speaker, Holli Elmore. The services are streamed on YouTube and Zoom, but no matter how you choose to join us, you are always welcome. We encourage everyone to note the QR code on this thing is called OOS, which I think stands for Order of Service. And there's a QR code there. And if you look at it, you can find a link to the current and ongoing events, or you may pick up a copy, a paper copy of our events in the foyer. We also send out a weekly email every Thursday. And don't forget to check our website. We're blessed this morning to have our webmaster, whereas Liz, when you have something to share, a photo or news, please let Liz know. We welcome families with children, and today, I don't see any children this morning. Leo. We love Leo, and Leo is 2. He is wonderful. Ordinarily, we have a nursery for children 0 to 5, and today our caretakers are sick. And so we can't have a nursery today. And also, we're always asking for people if they want to volunteer. There's a TV monitor so you don't miss the service, but you have an opportunity to be with these beloved children. So otherwise, for Leo, I think Amelia knows, you can get toys and things at the back of the service, yes. And just in case you forgot to silence your phone, click it on No Ring, and we'll listen for the prelude today, which is a melody for the new year. Thank you, Richard. Oh, I was thinking it was Richard, but it's you guys. Yay! I love it. Encore.
While we're gathering, I'll just say this is a medley of well-known songs relevant to the season. Also relevant to the world situation, which is sad, but there you go. Shalom, my friend, 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 shalom. conscience is our guide, with equity, compassion, and justice not denied. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, this whole wide world is one. With reason and with science, our values we define. We search for truth and meaning in nature's grand design. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, this whole wide world is one.
Thank you, Encore. Thank you. I invite all of you to stand and join me as we say the Congregational Covenant. It's written in your OOS. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. Truth is a sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community. Thus do we covenant with one another. You may be seated. Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. Our community is based on deeds, not creeds. We are a covenantal religion, which means we don't have to believe the same in order to treat each other the same, with respect and equity and compassion and dignity. We side with love, embracing and welcoming all people. Our board members and committee chairs welcome your questions and comments. If you want to speak with any of them, they're supposed to be wearing a green name tag. I see Jenny. You can wave. You can give it all to Jenny if you have something to share. Just at this point, we'd like to recognize any guests or visitors who are here today. So visitors, if you're willing and able, please wait for Nancy to bring around the microphone and then rise and share. Share with us your name and where you're from. Any visitors? There we go, we got one in the middle. Almost. And here.
Good morning, I'm Dave Maxfield. I live about 5 houses up the street. So I was like, that seems convenient. And maybe they got coffee, I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh. Thank you, Dave, welcome. Happy to have people from the neighborhood. Yes.
Good morning. My name's Edwina Winter. I'm from Emore. I actually spoke to you in October, so it's really nice to be back here as a member of the congregation.
Good morning. My name's Dwayne McCoy. My wife and I are here first time to see how things go, and so far we enjoy it very much. We're living in Lexington. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Glad to have you.
That's wonderful. Is that it? Thank you. Oh, somebody else.
No, I'm not the visitor. I just want to welcome back somebody who it's been so long. If it weren't for Facebook, I wouldn't have recognized them. And that's Eileen and Jerry Riga. Welcome back.
And Janet Swigler, too.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, Nancy. It's great.
Oh, I've just found my sister who came back here. She's Sandra Lopez in the back, and next to my daughter, Mercedes. She'll be off to college soon again.
With very pink hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was an October thing. It's hanging around.
Thank you. We always feel that the fun and opening is one feeling, but we want to deepen it into a more sense of the sacred. So we start with lighting the chalice. And I'm going to ask Bill Dolly to come. It's a reminder of why we're here. Spirit of light and life, come to us. Thank you, Bill.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Our opening hymn this morning is number 38, Morning Has Broken, and I want you to think that what you're saying is, the new year is breaking. But don't sing that. I mean, you can still sing that. So let me play a few bars of it, and you please join in for all three verses, and please stand.
Yes.
Morning has be seated.
This morning, we are fortunate. Our guest speaker today is Holli Elmore. She is the executive director for Cherry Hill Seminary, chair of Interfaith Partners of South Carolina, and was the first regional lead disaster spiritual care for the American Red Cross in South Carolina. She also teaches public groups about pagan religions, has served as a regional source for law enforcement, victim services, and others since 2004. She frequently appears as a guest speaker or a panelist, and we're so fortunate to have her. She's also an author. She's written Constellated Ministry, a guide for those serving today's pagans. So we want to welcome her and hear her opening words. Holli.
The words of Rumi. Today, like every day, we wake up hollow and frightened. Don't open the door to the study and begin reading. Reach for a musical instrument. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground.
Thank you. If you have a significant joy or sorrow or concern that you would like to have shared from this pulpit, please email or text our minister by noon on Friday, or if you wish to share in person, we request that you pick up a candle. In the foyer, there's a little basket. Prior to the service, we have an active caring committee for those in need, and they wear yellow name tags. I'd ask at this time, if you have a candle, to please come forward.
Howdy, I'm JP, and I just wanted to mention a couple things as we kick 23 to the side of the road. I think we need to remember the January 6th insurrection, the tremendous loss of children and women and men, of course, in Hamas. But there is good news. This guy, his name is Lloyd Austin. I saw him speak, Secretary of Defense. He said, well, people got to realize that 31 states benefited economically from our money we spent to Israel. I'm thinking, that's not who we are here. We're a doctrine of love. And as we look towards the next year, we continue to fight with that which is more powerful than anything, love. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a candle for Chuck. She called me up this morning. She couldn't make it to the service because her and brother are still sick. Her father fell and broke his arm, and he can't physically take care of Chuck's mother, who has dementia, and Chuck can't do it because she's been sick. So not only is this a candle for Chuck's father, Bob Sargent, but it's also a candle of concern for the whole family.
We have some good friends, Sharon and Johnny Matchett, that left our congregation, and she sent me a message last Sunday and said, light a candle, would you? So I got the message as soon as I got home from service. So here it is for today, and if you're watching Sharon and Johnny, here's what they have to say to us. We miss you all and send our love. We're very happy with our new home and love being with family again. We are holding you in our hearts today. May you be well. May you be safe. May you feel joy. And may you be at peace in the new year.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Linda Brennison, the chair of your worship committee, and I just want to light a candle this morning of joy and gratitude to several volunteers who came in yesterday and gave of their time to decorate so beautifully for a potluck this right after the service. You know, a lot of times we're not quite sure, how does all this beauty happen? The people that were involved with the organization and decoration of the potluck yesterday were, chair of our kitchen committee, Connie Quirk, her husband, Kevin McKinney, also very instrumental in the design and implementation of the decorations, Linda McLeod, also myself, also. Always give credit where credit is due, but also Liz and Phil Turner. Bill Dolly was also here helping us. And this is a very dangerous thing I'm doing, trying to remember and name everybody that helped. Also helping out today will be Jim Kibler and Melody Smith. So please, thank these people for their giving and their kindness. And Joan, of course, and Patty, thank you. I know that was dangerous, but what's life without a little danger?
I'd be remiss if I didn't note, it's been asked that we note that at least Mark Drews, for sure, surely knows that today, if written consecutively, 123, is the date. It's super rare and only happens once a century. So today's really special, and I think Tom has a special candle. Yeah. This is a special day that my husband Peck is turning 90, so celebrate. This is a special thing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peck. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. And we always light a final candle for those joys and concerns that remain silent in our hearts. And will you join me with a few moments of silence as we open our hearts to what we've heard? Thank you. Thank you. This congregation participates in Share the Plate. Half of our cash collection each Sunday goes to a local charity, a way for us to give back to the community. This month's Share the Plate recipient is Homeless No More. If you wish to donate to Share the Plate, please write Share the Plate on a memo line of a check or donation envelope. There's also a QR donation code that you could give in the order of service. Thank you. And ask for the ushers to please come forward. And I have no idea who the ushers are. Linda, we need some volunteers. There's one, Jenny. Yes, JP, thank you. And we need baskets, right? I don't know. Use your hands. Nope.
I'll go grab this.
For those of you visiting, this is pretty standard for you use. There we go. Here we go. Here's the baskets. Yay, yay. For those that may not realize it, Homeless No More is a local nonprofit that helps families stay together when they're homeless, looking at especially women and children.
For our offertory today, Janet and I are going to play a duet. And for those of you who don't know Janet, I think we mentioned her before during the visitors. Janet, for I don't know how many years, 30 years or something, was the official pianist for this congregation. So it's glad to have her back. Over the Rainbow.
We receive these gifts with gratitude and appreciation because they show that we're truly a giving community. Now I want to welcome Holli.
Good morning. It really is a treat to be here. And I got to tell you guys, I love the new look and everything you've done. It's wonderful. I was a member. People are looking puzzled. I was a member in the past, and I'm just so proud to see what all has transpired. It's nice to see old friends, too, from when I was a member of this congregation in the 90s. Back then, it was just beginning to dawn on me that I might have a particular spiritual identity that I needed to explore. And thus, I came eventually to falling into a broad category that scholars of religion like to call pagan. Now, being UU in South Carolina sometimes had its challenges. Can I hear an amen? As an elderly neighbor declared to me back then, so you're Unitarian. Well, I'm Trinitarian, with the unspoken implication that I should go ahead and just get off his property. But that really happened. But identifying as pagan has been quite another thing. Then, about 12 or 13 years ago, a friend told me she had given my name to Dr. Carl Evans of the USC Department of Religious Studies as someone he should invite to be part of an interfaith steering committee he was forming, along with the late, and I know beloved by many here, Dr. Hal French. Now, some of you, I can't quite see everybody. There may be someone here who's thinking, oh, that was the rebirth of Partners in Dialogue. And yes, because of your enthusiasm during my UU days, I had attended a couple of those events. At the time, I think I was going through my midlife adolescence and didn't quite follow what it was about at the time. But this time, as my friend put it, it was an opportunity for pagans to have a seat at the proverbial table. By now, I was connected with Cherry Hill Seminary, a pagan graduate distance ed program, and had heard some of my colleagues talk about their interfaith work, some of them with the Parliament of the World's Religions, for example. So I took a deep breath, accepted Carl's invitation, and came fully out of the broom closet as a board member representing paganism for Interfaith Partners of South Carolina, which I think there's something on the front of the order of service today. Now, all these years later, I am astonished to find myself at the helm of this group, which originally listed my religion on our meeting agendas as other. My interfaith colleagues are some of my most trusted and beloved friends. And here is what I tell pagans about interfaith now. And I think it's probably good for all of us. When people who are part of a small and misunderstood minority faith get a chance for equal representation with the big guns, we think finally people are going to find out that pagans are not crazy and they can learn something about my religion, right? Now, before long, we reach a next stage and we say, gosh, I'm learning so much about other religions, even those I thought I understood. And then there comes the stage in which we comprehend why interfaith activity could save our lives someday. Do you remember that a past president called for blocking Syrian refugees from entering the U.S. because they were Muslim? That was the stated reason. IPSC held a press conference at the state capitol that year to denounce this idea and remind the world that in America we do not discriminate based on religion. As the public information officer that year, I remember stepping up to the podium for media questions, and I looked around at this circle of TV reporters who came that day. I saw boredom in some faces and real concern in others. But I remember replying to one question. I don't remember the question, but this is what I said. You know, this is no longer a feel-good kumbaya thing. Interfaith could someday save our lives. And then I saw all their eyes go wide, and they started nodding their heads. These young but already hardened cub reporters. I remember sensing fear. They understood. Little did we know how things would develop over the years after that. In that moment, I think they had an inkling of what had taken me a few years to grasp. The interfaith is not so much about religion as it is learning how to be together, not the same. And I think UUs are very good at that, in fact. Here in UU land, we tend to embrace a kaleidoscope of diversity and believe in the value of a pluralistic society. Interfaith leader Eboo Patel points out that diversity is just a fact of life in America. It's neither good nor bad. But he says when left alone, it tends to isolation as we congregate with our individual tribes, which he says can manifest in these 3 B's: bunker, barrier, and bludgeon. There's the bunker of isolation, primarily concerned with preserving one's own traditions, and that may cause you to be afraid or suspicious of anyone not in your bunker. There's the barrier of division, where you may believe only your way is right, and instead of avoiding someone different, you insist the other is wrong and offensive, and might even take some action against them. Then there's the bludgeon of violence, representing a very small minority in pretty much every religion. People in this kind of isolation may intentionally accentuate those differences and intimidate others. Yeah, this is why I say interfaith could save our lives, because Patel goes on to assert that diversity only becomes positive when we organize cooperation for the common good. What does that look like? Well, starting tomorrow, we will have a host of examples as Interfaith Partners launches South Carolina Interfaith Harmony Month. All through January, you can get a taste of other religions' services and practices, including right here next Sunday when you hold your annual fire communion. And that's already listed on our IPS website and posted on our social media. But there's far more. Women of many faiths will socialize and discuss faith and family. The Quakers are holding a celebration of the 400th anniversary of founder George Fox. Pagans in Lexington County will hold a virtual new moon ceremony on the 11th. Then they're doing an on-site Imbolc Eve Firefest on the 31st. The Lutheran Seminary is hosting a labyrinth walk. Beth Shalom holds a special open Sabbath service for guests on the 19th. Unity Church is holding an open house on the 20th. There's a candle lighting on the 14th at the Tree of Peace and Resistance. I think that's in the Waverly area, which commemorates the work of Black, Jewish, white, and other groups in standing for peace and justice, followed by visits to 2 historic sites in the neighborhood. The South Carolina Buddhist Center is doing an intro to Nichiren Buddhism, and the Baha'is are holding a Unity of Humanity event to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King. That's on the 13th. If you've always wanted to try out the ancient practice of Lectio Divina, you can join one virtually on the 11th. I could go on. The Sikhs are planning something at the Gurdwara in Emore. Understanding Islam and Muslims is at the Nur el Huda Mosque. Even in Charleston, each year, Mayor Tecklenburg issues their own city proclamation of Interfaith Harmony Month in a ceremony in council chambers. But I'm possibly most excited about an event that IPSC is actually putting on this year. It's a virtual panel, that is, it's on Zoom, called Confronting Hate. Reverend Eric Manning of Mother Emanuel in Charleston and his friend, Rabbi Jeffrey Myers of Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh will be joined by Imam Omar Shahid and Dr. Jonathan Leader, both of Columbia, on Tuesday, January 23rd at 7 p.m. They will discuss how tragedy like the mass shootings at Mother Emanuel. Hi, Lee, I just looked up and saw you. They'll discuss how these tragedies have changed the lives of the two faith leaders, their congregation members, and the world, and how we can learn to carry forward a message which confronts hate in a better way. Many say to me, why religion? They say, I'm not really religious anymore, or I consider myself spiritual but not affiliated with any religion. And they ask why we don't include their chosen social justice cause in our IPSC mission. Well, here's something to consider. Gregory Sterling of Yale Divinity School has said, and he's paraphrasing his colleague Gus Speth. He says, I used to think that the greatest problems that we face in terms of the environment were the loss of biodiversity, deforestation, and climate change. I thought we could solve those with 30 good years of science, but I was wrong. The greatest problems we face are greed, apathy, and a lack of initiative to actually address the problems that we know exist. And here's the kicker. We know scientists don't know how to do that. That's what religion can do. Religion can motivate people and move them to act in interests that may transcend their own personal interest to a broader communal interest. So being interfaith can be challenging. It's definitely been hard work and uncomfortable conversations since October 7th, I can tell you. And that's why we have to do the work. Humans are always going to disagree about things that are deeply rooted in us, about which we're passionate. It's easy to click like on a social media meme or hold a sign during a protest. But you know, during the same years that I became active with IPSC, the public conversations in this country, and really in others too, have become shrill, angry, uncompromising, and even hateful or threatening. How do we even begin to turn back the tsunami of discord? How do we relearn the art of civil discourse, peaceful coexistence, and mutual cooperation for the good of all? Reading a book about or taking a class on another religion is good, but it's just not the same as being together with the other, even becoming friends. I wish I could tell you some of my personal stories of interfaith encounters, like the Muslim friend to whom I confided that I was flummoxed to have been disappointed by her holy book, and who commented, gosh, I haven't read the Quran in a long time. Guess I need to do that. I went, oh, they're just like us. Some people are devoted and some people are, just kind of, they're there. Or the sick friend, and this one gives me chills every time I share it. He told me that people misunderstanding his religion and holding prejudice against him after 9/11 was his fault. Now, I was really upset to hear that. And of course, he wears a turban most of the time. So I stridently protested, but he said, no, listen. I was standing in my driveway when I got the news. I looked up from my phone and saw a neighbor looking at me. And I thought, He doesn't know I'm not a terrorist because I've never reached out to get to know him. In current circumstances, I have friends on, shall we say, all sides of the current Gaza-Israel crisis. Did I mention that interfaith is not always easy? We can't please everyone, but we can listen. We can learn from them and express our unwavering love and compassion. Turns out everybody I've talked to since that terrible day have each had something valuable to teach me, even though they had very different opinions about how to go forward. So that's why I urge you to at least dip your toe in the water during South Carolina Interfaith Harmony Month. If you make just one new acquaintance, or learn one thing you didn't know, or just experience a moment of inspiration, then it's worth your time and ours. And since I spoke to her from the podium, I just want to say, Lee, I really appreciate what you and the others in Partners in Dialogue built all those years ago. And I'm glad that eventually I figured it out. But we stand on the shoulders of you and Julian and Ron and Gertrude Edge and Carl and Hal and so many others, and thank you. And I believe you visited our sister congregation in Transylvania, didn't you? Yes, and for those of you who don't know, those are the pictures on the wall. So if you're inspired, then it's worthwhile. Give it a shot. If you go to our website, interfaithpartnersofsc.org, there's a whole bunch of stuff listed on the calendar. If you're a Facebook person, we've got events being posted there regularly, and we welcome any questions that you might have. I appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Holly. Thank you.
I suppose that space and time are two constructs that we as humans do not understand. And we dwell on it a little bit more as another year rolls over. So as our closing hymn, let's sing number 350, The Ceaseless Flow of Endless Time. I'll give you a little introduction, and you can sing all three verses, please. Please stand.
I've asked Holly to share some last words.
This is Walt Whitman. Awake, O soul, hoist instantly the anchor, cut the hawsers, haul out, shake out every sail. Sail forth, steer for the deep waters only. Reckless, O soul, exploring, I with thee and thou with me, for we are bound where mariner has not yet dared to go. And we will risk the ship, ourselves and all. O my brave soul, O farther, farther sail, O daring joy, but safe, Are they not all the seas of God? Oh, farther, farther, farther sail.
As we end this service, we extinguish our chalice. May its flame glow gently in our hearts and light our paths as we leave this place until we are together again.
Please join us in singing the congregational benediction. The words are in your order of service.
Thank you. Richard, I believe you have something for us.
Yes, I do. I'm the one who gets to finalize this. Let me tell you what's going to happen now. We're going to sing Auld Lang Syne together. Anybody not know that? I don't think so. When we finish singing it, Janet and I are going to play a lively piece while you exit to the social hall. Now, I have to give you instructions on that, because the kitchen people and the organizers of that, they get a little bit feisty if you don't follow their instructions, okay? So, even if you did not remember to bring a potluck dish, we invite you to join us. You will not want to miss out on the fun and good food. There will be a donation basket on the table if you would like to help with expenses. So, here's the directions. As you enter the social hall, after we're finished singing Auld Lang Syne, find where you would like to sit and get your drink. This will allow for some social time, and the kitchen helpers will have time to put out the food. So, Happy New Year's Eve. Should all the acquaintance be forgotten and never gone by? Should all acquaintance be forgotten and days of Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a lot of kindness for days of Auld Lang Syne. You may be dismissed to the social hall.